Hello and welcome to the most serious crypto news of the past day. The current price of Bitcoin is $67,380, but fortunately a rhino pattern has formed, which means we will be definitely breaking through the next price level and returning back to $70,000. The price of Ethereum is $1,943, but everything is fine here, so a friendly ghost pattern has formed, which means that the price is about to fly up and we're waiting for that. Now let's get to the news. Vitalik Buterin's Polymarket wallet. His bets and strategy will blow your mind. And so we begin. User X, under the nickname Lerato or something like that, I don't know, seems to have really found a wallet of the creator of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, on Polymarket. And this is just as something else. The account on Polymarket at Momom fits perfectly with Vitalik's strategy description from a recent interview in which Buterin said, "I look for markets that have entered frenzy mode and bet that the crazy thing won't happen." So, for example, he bet that Trump would not receive the Nobel Peace Prize, and obviously he won, or that the dollar won't collapse to zero next year. The logic is simple here: just be a realistic skeptic and collect money from alarmists. So here are Vitalik's bets right now, and spoiler alert, everything is a no. So $193,000 for China not to attack Taiwan until the end of 2026, $142,000 for the fact that the United States will not confirm the existence of aliens until 2027, $76,000 for the fact that Trump will not leave the presidency ahead of schedule, $40,000 for Trump not to receive the Nobel Prize until 2027, and even $26,000 for the fact that the United States will not receive a part of Greenland in 2026. Funny that he's been betting against the invasion of Taiwan and against the official aliens for 3 years in a row. And another funny thing is that for all the time he was active on the platform, he still lost only one time, prematurely closing the bet on whether a nuclear explosion would occur in 2024. But to be fair, he lost only $11,500, while the rest of his bets on the adequacy of humanity netted him $75,000. Vitalik, well done. Supreme Court strikes down Trump's tariffs, rebuking president's signature economic policy. And a real drama is unfolding in Washington that continues to rattle our nerves and wallets. The US Supreme Court slammed Trump's tariffs, but the president wouldn't be Trump if he just accepted it. Now this also applies to the crypto market, so buckle up. The court, by a majority vote, including 3 of Trump's own appointees, ruled that the president had overreached by imposing large-scale duties through the Emergency Situation Act of 1977. They say that Congress, not the president, regulates trade, and upon hearing this, Trump gave a classic reaction. He called the judges a disgrace to their families.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court.
And immediately, without batting an eye, signed a decree on a new 10% duties for all the countries, but on the basis of a different law, Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974. The logic is ironclad: if you can't use one ban, I'll take another. Now, why is this so important for cryptons? Because the trade war and the shakiness of the dollar are the direct ticket to Bitcoin's volatility. If Trump inflates the global trade conflict, investors may run into digital gold as a protective asset. And of course, the opposite can happen too. Investors will get scared and merge everything into fiat, but as history shows, the opposite usually happens. Should you build up your position in crypto? Fuck knows. Personally, I'm confident of growth, so I keep buying, but this is not a financial recommendation. Introducing predictions in Trust Wallet, and we lived up to this point, and there it is. The Trust Wallet crypto wallet with 220 million users has officially turned into a betting shop. Starting today, the forecast market is opening inside the wallet, in other words, a full-fledged bidding platform. They started integrating prediction markets back in 2025, and now they are available both desktop and mobile versions. Polymarket, Kalshi, and Myriad Markets data are used for the lines, and this means that 220 million people who have downloaded the Trust wallet have an iGaming product in their pocket without even visiting third-party sites, while remaining completely anonymous without going through any KYC. In short, if trading with 100 times leverage is no longer enough to tickle the nerves, now we can just stop hiding our ludomania and hide behind clever trading words and just bet on sports in crypto wallet. So personally, I'm afraid of this glamorization of classic gambling, but what the hell am I supposed to do? Demand exists, so will supply. Bitdeer hit zero Bitcoin holding, sold every coin it mined while raising $300 million in debt. It seems the miners just decided to finally finish us off. So, Bitdeer, which recently became the largest public miner by hash rate, overtaking Mara Holdings itself, they took and sold all its Bitcoins. Everything all at once. 943.1 Bitcoin at a time, and that's about $64 million at the current exchange rate. And these are not just coins that were mined in a week, they are 189 of them. This is precisely a strategic reserve that has been accumulated for years, and now the company's balance, except for customer deposits, is complete zero. So the situation, of course, is terrible. Miners' incomes have been falling since October last year, and the complexity of the network is breaking record, and the price of Bitcoin is not particularly encouraging. So the Bitdeer just showed everyone an example of how to survive in the bear market. Throw off everything that does not nail down. Although experts say that the acute phase of the sale seems to be over. But when you look at the empty wallet of the largest miner, it's kind of sad. But let's hope they just decided to throw a legendary party on Maldives and they will soon come back. USDT sees fastest market cap decline since 2022 as stablecoin supply falls in February. And this is already a serious call for the entire crypto market. The main stablecoin of the planet, USDT, is quietly losing its weight. And this is not just a fluctuation, but the largest drop in supply since like December 2022. In February, the capitalization of Tether decreased by $1.5 billion. In January, by another $1.2 billion. If this continues, we will see a record upflow since the FTX crash, when investors withdrew just $2 billion in a month. And the most interesting thing is, where does the money go? And they go to the Circle's USDC and the Trump's family new stablecoin USD1. The capitalization of USD1 has already exceeded $5 billion, although it was launched only in May of 2025. Experts are already seriously predicting that by the end of Trump's term, USD1 could become the dominant stablecoin in the United States. Perhaps we're witnessing not just a correction, but a tectonic shift. The good old USDT is slowly losing ground under the onslaught of regulated and politically savvy competitors. And stablecoin market as a whole is growing from $302 billion to $304 billion at the moment. But the pie is now being divided in a new way, Just in case, it's important to clarify that Tether is still huge, around $183 billion, but the trend is not in its favor. And that's going to be all the news for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!